I have some avocados ripening, so I want to make some guacamole. I love guacamole. I did some research, and it turns out you can freeze guacamole, but only if you make the most basic, which is avocado, lime, salt, and if you like it, cilantro. I'm one of those people that can't eat cilantro. I have that OR6A2 gene, and there's some chemical that's both in soap and cilantro that we can pick up. So I can't eat cilantro. It tastes like soap. But if you don't have that gene, you got a use for your little bars of soap. When they get too small to use in the shower, you can use a microplane grater. Never mind. Let's make guacamole. Okay, now comes the scary part. How good are my avocados? Because I don't know. I bought these a while ago. I've been waiting for them to ripen. I went on the internet and they said to remove the stem, it should pop out easily, like that does. And it should be yellow-green inside, not brown. So this should be a nicely ripe avocado. And it's very hard to cut. So this is not fully ripe. Actually, it's not bad. Not bad. It was just the skin that was hard to cut through. All right, and then I'm going to cut across the avocado like so. You want to be careful you don't go through the skin and pierce your hand. And then let's see. I'll use this spoon here and scoop out the flesh inside. Like so. All right, I have my others to do. As I said, I've got 5 here. And hopefully I'll have 2 or 3 good ripe avocados to use. I'm going to clean up a chili here. This is a mild chili. This is an Anaheim. I don't like things too hot. If you like hot chili, you can use Serrano, you can use jalapeno. There are a lot of hot chilies out there. I just want to get these opened up, get the seeds taken out, and these veins, or membranes, ribs they also call them. And I'm wearing gloves, even though it's not a hot chili, because it's a good idea to put gloves on when you are working with a very hot chili. The seeds and those white membranes, those ribs, are the hottest part. I'm going to clean this up and then chop my chilies. I got my avocado in there. 3 of the 5 avocados were ripe enough to use. Now I've got some lime here that I'm going to squeeze. I've got a couple of limes. I'm not sure how much juice I'm going to get out of these. Some limes don't yield a lot of juice. So I'll see what I can get as far as juice. Like this one's really dry. This one feels dry inside. Not a lot of juice. But this other one, I'm going to use my juicer because this looks like a nice juicy lime. So 1 good juicy lime out of this batch. And that's all right. All right, next I have to get out my salt. Took 1 glove off. I'm going to put a pinch of salt in there. And then, with my other glove on, I'm going to start crushing this. I don't want it to get it fully crushed down like, you know, mashed potatoes. I want to have some chunks in there so that you get the sense that you're eating bits of avocado. Along with the guacamole. And I like using my hands in this because I can tell by the feel what I'm doing as far as how many pieces I've got broken up. And that's actually feeling pretty good right now. All right, I want to taste that for salt. Where's my tasting spoon? My infamous red handle tasting spoon. It goes in my mouth, not the food. I could use a pinch more salt, but should I, shouldn't I? A little bit more. Just a small pinch. It's so close, I don't want to overdo it with the salt. Okay. That's good. That's a very basic guacamole right there. I'm going to put some of this in a little vacuum bag and seal it. And then I'm going to add other ingredients to the rest of this to make my guacamole, a flavored guacamole. So there is my vacuum sealed basic guacamole. I'm going to put this in the freezer and then add some other ingredients. Other ingredients I'm going to add. This is some chopped fresh tomato. Why am I adding these ingredients now rather than earlier before I froze it? It's because this is minced onion, by the way, because these vegetables have a lot of water in them. And when I freeze and then thaw the guacamole, they will yield their moisture and that will water down the guacamole. So you make the basic guacamole first. That was some minced garlic. And then as an herb, if you want to add an herb, a friend of mine does this. I thought I would try it. This is like 1/8 of a teaspoon of cumin. Just for a little bit of a herbal flavor. Mix that in. One more thing that I almost forgot, and that is my Anaheim chili. Gonna add a little bit of that to there. Stir that in. And that's looking like a nice, colorful, chunky guacamole. Gonna get one taste of that. See what that's like. It's got a nice flavor. I can taste that chili, but it's not hot. Taste the onion, taste the tomato. It's got a bit of a crunch to it because of those fresh vegetables. Okay, let's talk about putting this up. If you have to put it away for a while, how do you do that? I'm going to smooth this down. There's an enzyme in avocado that reacts with oxygen in the air. And that's what turns avocado brown. So, there's two things to do. One, keep the oxygen from getting to it, or strip the oxygen off. People put an avocado pit in there. That is an urban myth. It's been tested. It doesn't work. The two best things you can do is, one, if you're going to store it for a while, for like no more than, say, 2 or 3 hours, cover it well with plastic wrap and go right down to the surface and press the plastic against the guacamole. Make sure you get the air out all the way around. That acts as a barrier to prevent oxygen from getting to the guacamole. It'll help it to last longer. It's not going to last a long time. You couldn't put this in the refrigerator for 3 or 4 days and expect to come back and see it nice, pretty, and green. It's going to oxidize. I mean, basically, you want to use guacamole the same day, preferably within 2 or 3 hours of making it. The other thing you can do, as I said, is strip the oxygen off, and acid does that. Acid strips the oxygen molecule away from things. We did that by adding lime juice. Lime is acidic, it has citric acid in it. That will help to preserve that color longer. All right, I'm ready to try this with some chips that I bought. Got some chips, corn chips, tortilla chips. I'm gonna put some guacamole in a bowl for myself. See how this tastes. Yeah. That's wonderful. I love guacamole. Okay, the Tour de France is on. I'm going to sit down with my chips and my guacamole and watch some cycling.